fatherhood is perhaps the most important point on the pathway of responsibility. At the very least, be fathers to those we help, not masters over them, but servants beneath them. When I first got into hearing from God, I had a lot of dreams about this, and it took me a little while to understand that, I was very achievement-oriented as a person in my life, and I kept having dreams where, I might be playing basketball or football and scoring a lot of points and failing the test I was being given, because the point wasn't how much I could score, it was how much I could teach other people to score. And that was a test I was given over and over in dreams until I really, really grasped it, and those dreams helped me take it home and have those experiences that, they always come to mind, that the point wasn't to, I had this dream where I was like some massive muscular guy throwing a football, but to find this little skinny kid and start building him up so he can do it too. And that's really what we're doing here. My example in the Bible is Paul versus Saul. If you had to choose someone to be a king over you, who would you pick? Would you pick the old Saul or the new Paul? The Saul from the Old Testament is mentioned about him time and time again. He will take. But Paul in the Bible, when he has his name changed to Paul, is a person who would give. And so Paul, as a leader over you, is willing to go to prison for you. He's willing to work to support himself, work to support you, take collections to help you. Paul came to preach as a father, helping people, not elevating himself, but looking for how he could help other people in God. And for a lot of us, that image of a father has been defiled. People in our lives that should have helped us did not, or what help they gave us, God bless them, just wasn't enough. And so when we think about fatherhood, we need to look to our Heavenly Father. And, I'll share with you guys that oftentimes when the Heavenly Father appears to me in dreams, he uses the shape and form of my own father, and he does that to communicate to me in many different ways. And also showing me, how I see him is shaped very much by my own relationships. And so I've had to learn to see God beyond that. It's a job I'm still doing. So my testimony to each of you is that you have a Heavenly Father, but more importantly, you can demonstrate what being a father is to others. And in our organizations that we have, and in these new models that are coming forth, we're trying to do things in a new way, and it's not top down, it's bottom up. The person on the bottom is the one who supports everyone else. And you'll see this in some people. I know and can tell you that Mike Parsons is the kind of guy who does that and acts as a mentor for very, very, very little, almost nothing, to cover his computing costs to hundreds of others out there. And so, and there have been other mentors I've had in my life, and things my own parents have done for me where they've been fathers and mothers too. It's slightly different, but still very special. Oftentimes in dreams, a mother pictures the church as our mother that gave birth to us, especially into the new things. And Paul's model was always to return help. And 2 Corinthians 8, at the present time your plenty will supply what they need, so that in turn their plenty will supply what you need. And even if you look at the Old Testament, a lot of people quote Malachi 3 for tithing, but it was a storehouse to help. And again, I think for me this is all captured in Isaiah 58, that the fast I have chosen is to loose the bonds of wickedness, undo heavy burdens, let the oppressed go free, break every yoke, share your bread with the hungry, bring your poor to your house. When you see the naked, cover him. And when your light breaks, then your light will break forth like the morning. And it goes on to say, then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry, and he will say, here I am. And so if I could share with you one thing about this, Galatians 6, bear one another's burdens. It's be a father, and it's sometimes your own resources are limited, but don't act out of fear. I think a lot of people, they have organizations that they've built, and we're not trying to take those organizations away. They're welcome to them. But sometimes people, when they're in fear, will lash out and lash to protect what they have and make sure other people can't rise up and take it away. And I've certainly experienced that in law firms. I've seen it in churches. It's unfortunate, and that's not the way a father is. A father lifts the children up, and perfect love casts out fear. God bless you all. Thank you.